the tactical equine. Yeah. I was texting you where your booth was, and then I looked over, and it's like right next to mine.
Yeah. No, we're right next
Catty
to you
corner.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then ranch dressing's right at the end of the stairs. Right at the bottom of the stairs next to the alcohol.
Yeah. I thought y'all sold ranch fuel at your booth. No? Yeah. Maybe that's a different one.
Do you need any? We have some in the truck.
It just at least one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
that'd be great.
I'll take one, just that, and then I'll when it's empty, I might have it.
If I inhale like I'm just exasperated by something you're saying, it's not out of rudeness. It's just that I can't breathe.
So, do you get that at the booth? Like when you take a picture with someone, when you smile, you're kind of holding your breath, and so like between, you're kind of go. And everybody's like, and then they're like, "Oh, you hate this, don't you?" It's like, no, I'm not sighing.
No,
I just need oxygen to breathe.
If you're around animals a lot, you're like, the minute you see somebody, you know, you're judging movement. So when somebody like, or something, you know, it's like being around animals. You're like, oh, what's wrong?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, mine's at the booth, like just one after the other. It's completely fine. I'm in a great mood, but when you're smiling, you got to take a breath every now and then.
And then can we, like, not to complain because this is such a privilege, but like, can we do away with 1, 2, 3? I'd like to do away with 1, 2, 3.
It's a digital camera. Just start clicking those.
And my problem is I have this like power vein right here, and if you like smile and go 1, 2, 3, this huge vein runs across my forehead. So for aesthetics, if we could do away with 1, 2, 3, that'd be awesome too.
The only thing I want to do away with is when we're next to each other, the turn and talk right here. Like,
they don't do that to me.
Give me a little room. Yeah. But no, I hear what you're saying. It is a privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade this job for anything.
No. This is a privilege.
Yeah, so you got tactical equine and ranch dressing. So talk to me about ranch dressing. Talk to me about the difference in the two.
So ranch dressing is clothing, attire. Right. We've branched out into menswear and children. So in Vegas, primarily, we do like the toddler things that are just really cute little mini-me versions of everything. And then tactical equine is equine. So it's splint boots and bell boots and blankets and, you know, stretchies and all those kind of things. Basically, so you can just like be really annoying, match just like head to toe, all the way down, like across the board, just to be just the most annoying. Did that start from the, I hope I call it the right thing, saddle sack? Is that what you called it? With the phone? Yep, the saddle sack was like one of our like premier products that we had for a very long time. That's taken a back seat now we've grown to, you know, where we've made a really great splint boot and a really great saddles and really great cinches, and you know, it just evolves and keeps going. And but it did start really, really small, and I think it started like other things when you get kind of. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Thank you so much, my man. I love that haircut so much. God. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Love you. What a sweet child. He's a good boy. Golly. Did you get the flavor you desired? Yes, I love the blueberry pomegranate. I was looking at this can. This is the new can. Yeah, I was about to say it looks updated from what we got at the house. Anyhow, the saddle sack, that is everywhere. It is. And it's just like something fun. I think what we learned is just in everything, authenticity always like it matters. And you can see when somebody, so in the spirit of authenticity, tactical started pretty well, I would say, out of spite. So, I think that as a rodeo athlete, you just find yourself in precarious situations where you want to sign contracts and you want to do things, and you're kind of hoping that these people are going to believe in you and get behind you, and you're going to get rich off of, putting yourself out there and marketing yourself. And then you just find like, I'd qualified for the NFR 4 times and got offered $1,000 contract for a clothing company and was like, man, this is not going to put a lot of diesel in the tank. So, that's kind of how everything started off of, maybe not spite, but survival of, I'm already doing all this marketing. Maybe I should just create products that I really want to use. I don't have any place to put my phone, my keys, whatever. And this may seem silly, but if I need it, maybe somebody else does too. And I think if we just stay really true to that, I think it's been really great.
Well, that's a really good point that you make about the, having gone to the NFR, which the NFR and that validates the fact that you are, great at your craft, but you also bring to the table your brand as Fallon Taylor that you've built on social media and the internet. And for me, I remember a conversation with one sponsor, and their CEO at the time was a former accountant. So very just by the numbers, analytical, and their marketing person was the one that was excited about working with me. And so the CEO was having the conversation almost reluctantly and just to my face, like, I just don't know what this is going to do to our bottom line, verbatim. Yeah. And for me, I said immediately, I was like, well, I know what it does to my bottom line, because it wasn't long after I'd started the apparel line. And that gave me an inside look at what my
what your real numbers
my marketing was doing.
Right.
Yeah. Like right. I know what this can do for you. This is what it did for me.
Right.
And so anyways, I say that, like, you've been to 4 NFRs when you had that conversation, and they offer you $1,000 contract. Well, like, your worth.
Right.
Because, well, maybe at that time, because it was before you started your stuff. But
so I was just starting on Baby Flow and just kind of had a different mindset about those contracts, and just was like, let me just get anybody to jump on board. Let me get anybody to come help me. And they were just like, I guess so. And I thought, man, is $1,000 worth that, to have somebody just like half-heartedly not really even care, and just be like super reluctant like that. I don't want to have to talk anybody into me, one. And two, I was selling clothes out of the back of my truck and paying my entry fees. That way I would wear something and then I would sell it in the parking lot, and then I'd get the next thing and, to pay my entry fees. I was like, I really think I could do this if you had a website where you had more of these things available.
Right.
Anyway, long story short, push forward. It felt a lot better to just put all the skin in the game on myself, and in every aspect, just believing in myself and putting everything on the line and going, if this sinks, I'm going to sink with it. So,
you're wearing solid color pants today. Where's the tie dye?
And we have a lot of tie dye, but I think as we've evolved, I just hate being predictable. I really do not like being predictable.
That is the best answer. Okay. Yeah, I respect that 100%.
If people think I'm going to go this way, I'm going to do everything I can to go that way.
Yeah, I heard Kid Rock say that in an interview, like, because he'll play for like conservative crowds, but then he'll also do rap stuff. And he said when he went to the rap awards, he wore his cowboy hat. When he went to cowboy stuff, he wore his rap clothes.
I love that.
Yeah. Can we talk about your first NFR? Because I've never got to talk to you about that.
I would love to.
Yeah, tell me that story.
1995. I was 13 years old. I rode a mare named Flowers and Money. My backup horse was a horse we gave $7,500 for Flowers and Money off the racetrack. We claimed her on the racetrack at Lone Star Park. We gave $1,500 for Jerry, aka True Identity. He was named Jerry because the racetrack trainer couldn't remember his name. He just remembered the name of the guy that owned him. We called him True, but True died last year, finally, 34. But the blinders turned over his eyes at his first out, and he ping-ponged across the track like a pinball machine. So we got him bought for $1,500 and took him to the vet. Just to like get a baseline of, barrel racers. We just love the vet. So we love a good vet bill. Yeah. So we took him, of course, nothing's wrong with him. We take him straight to the vet. And they said, he's got a lot of bone chips. This horse either is probably going to have to be put down. He's pigeon-toed, or we're going to have to do surgery and remove those chips. And we ran into a wonderful vet who just passed away this year, John McCarroll. And he was like, why don't you let that horse go till he starts limping? And then... those chips, then we know there's something wrong.
Dang, that is a good vet.
34 years old. He never had to be nothing.
Dang.
Nothing. He was great all the way to the end. And anyway, so Flowers and Money was a a pistol. And major alley issues. Like I was the girl, you're just like, look out, here she comes.
Yeah.
Like everybody get out of the
13.
way at 13. And this mare was, she set back every day, tied to the trailer every day, almost turned the trailer over. She'd try to flip over at the end of she was rank. And every horse since then has been a delight. But we got to Vegas and I could not get her in the alleyway. And so I think I got 3 rounds on her. And they disqualified me from riding that horse because she took too long in the alleyway.
Yeah.
So I had to get on old True. But True, I had just been playing with him around the barrels. He'd not been to a rodeo. He'd been to all of them as a little pony horse.
Right.
And the companion for Flowers and Money, but he hadn't been clocked at a rodeo. But I was 13. So, I spent every waking hour in the saddle. No mortgage, no insurance, just kid horse. And I even there was a group of riders called the Akapa riders on the road that had a little act with a collar, bridleless. And so I'd ride with those little kids at every rodeo with a collar and I'd learn to ride him bridleless. And he was a pet. Well, he got the call round 4 at the NFR and I ended up winning second in the average on him. And he was, I think, a 5-year-old that year.
Yeah.
And, he ended up winning probably 200,000 over his career. Really, really cool horse. But Flowers and Money started it all for me. And then, I had an incredible stallion named Dr. Nick Barr, but he just was not the style of horse to run in Vegas. So he never got to run inside the Thomas and Mack.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of even just another time that someone that young made the NFR.
So Charmaine was young. When she made it, I think her first finals was, I want to say 82, 83.
But how old was she?
I want to say she was 14, 15.
Yeah.
Rachel Milamaki was also 13. And then there was a young lady, and I feel so bad because every time I forget her name, she was in a wreck on the way to the national finals and was killed on the way. And she was very young, 9 or 10.
Dang.
Was killed on the way. And they were in an accident and, I can't remember how she ended up, but they allowed her name to stay in the rankings for the year, and memorialized her that way. So she had done really, really good that year. So technically she qualified, but just never actually competed at the NFR.
But since then, obviously nobody.
They made a rule. So, so I bought my permit when I was 7. I won my first rodeo when I was 9 at Lafayette, Louisiana. They changed the rule in the middle of the night that you got to be 14. And then at 14, I won Houston. And they changed the rule that you got to be 18 to compete. But I would get grandfathered in with those layers. And now you got to be 18. So they created a junior division in the WPRA where kids can compete.
What's wrong with, why make the rule? What's wrong with?
I think it
seems like it would be just awesome for the sport.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think in retrospect, and this is the pot calling the kettle black. Now we know a lot more when we look at Brazilian barrel racing, Brazilian world records. They break a lot of world records, but one thing that they've learned is you have to weigh in with your tack and you get handicapped if you weigh, less than I think 130 pounds with your tack. I could be getting that wrong. But 130 pounds, you got to meet that minimum with your tack or you get handicapped. And I think the big concern probably...
They do that now?
In Brazil, they do. In Brazil.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If they bet on barrel racing here, if it was a betting game, we would get handicapped, I'm sure, too.
Gotcha.
I'm about 6 inches taller than most people except for Sherry Surrey. But the majority of barrel racers are really teeny tiny, very, very small. And so I think that that's an advantage. We know that on the racetrack, estimated every 10 pounds is a tenth of a second. So I think that they were trying to keep that maybe fair for, weight purposes. But one thing I will say in favor of all of our youth barrel racers is that they have a lot against them. You're riding 1,200 pounds at 30 miles an hour and you don't have 30 years of experience. So when you see an outstanding youth rider, you do have to understand.
Or the strength.
Right. The strength is, it's all hard. So
Yeah.
it's cool to see kids and adults doing really cool things.
Especially when it sounds like it's not like you were just gifted some $150,000 horse that,
Well,
been, you know.
let me stop you there. I was gifted a $75,000 horse, Dr. Nick Barr. And my dad always says, and the fact that we had the means to do that in 1991, my parents have worked their tail off, entrepreneurs. But the fact that they were able to do that for me, I mean, I look back and realize that was their entire salary that they banked on me. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Vegas.
Yeah.
But they banked their entire salary on that. Now, my dad still brags today that that was the cheapest horse we ever bought because he sold
Which
a
one?
lot of breedings. Dr. Nick Barr,
The stud.
the $75,000 horse. He paid for himself in breedings
Yeah.
and experience. He gave me my first win. Just an incredible horse.
Well, that was a lot of money then, like it is now. But also, you know, it sounds like your parents were smart enough too. Like they didn't spend that kind of money back then on a gelding.
Right. They understood. And the foresight to be like, this could be a business in and of itself, because if our kid is any good, this is going to look really cool. If this
Right.
horse is, they passed on a lot of horses that were geldings, that were mares, that they felt were unsafe. So the stallion he was a puppy dog. And I realize now as an adult in retrospect, what a horse that was.
Especially having dealt with some of the studs that, I mean, like they can be just the worst. Yeah.
I
So-
like a good gelding.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The only mares I have at my house are bucking horses, and they're already kind of temperamental anyways, but they go in a separate pasture. I don't necessarily have time for, definitely not a stud. And anyway, well, speaking of like special horses, when did Baby Flo come along?
So Baby Flo is sired by Dr. Nick Barr, and out of that mare we claimed on the track,
Oh,
Flowers
wow.
and Money.
That is special.
We got four, a stud and 3 mares. The 3 mares are still alive. The stallion passed. He had a freak accident and passed. And then the 3 mares, one of them has been brought to the national finals but not run. Baby Flo obviously won the world championship, and the other one placed at the NFR. So, and all of them have been rodeo winners. So 100% producer out of that combination. And so not only did that stallion pay for himself and did that mare pay for themselves, but the combination created a world title and kind of a legacy of babies.
It's wild. I mean, did you know when you started at just talking about Baby Flo, the brand that she would have of her own?
I didn't even know what to name her, because we called Flowers and Money Flojo, because I idolized Florence Joyner, the Olympic runner. She had her nails done, her hair done,
Yeah.
and the outfits. Obviously, that had a big impact on me.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying a ranch fuel as you're listening to this episode of Rodeo Time. Use code DALE on ranchfuel.com for 15% off, old son. Drink up and use code DALE on ranchfuel.com. Rodeotime.com is the only website that should exist because it's the greatest apparel line that has ever existed. So go there now to get a t-shirt, a hoodie, a cap, a vest, whatever it is you need. Go to rodeotime.com, old son.
As Baby Flo came along, I'd broken my neck in 2009. That mare was born in 2006. So her 3-year-old year, I sent her off to get started by some cutting horse guys. And they sent her home. They said, this is the one that'll kill you. I was like sitting here in a halo. I don't think they knew.
Yeah.
I kind of hid out in my halo. And I was like, well, that's perfect. That's the first one I want to ride whenever I get this halo off. And so I started her in the round pen. I still have that picture of starting the round pen. My staff quit that day. They were like, we're not going to help you get on this mare. This is the craziest thing. You just almost died. And here we are.
Dang.
We're not going to let you get on. And I didn't know what to name her. I called her Shark for a while because I was like, this thing is going to eat me alive.
Yeah.
And then I just looked at her a little bit more and I was like, man, she looks a lot like Flojo. I'm just going to call her Baby Flo. And that first 90 days, I'd call my parents and say, you got to come watch this mare. I've just never been on anything like it. They'd come to watch her and she'd not make the barrel pattern. My dad was like, you got a little bit more work to do.
Yeah.
Then I'd call him back again, put a couple of more weeks on her, call him back again. Same thing. Couldn't make the barrel pattern. Finally changed her to the left. Could make the barrel pattern. Decided I better not change that. I'm going to keep her to the left, even though I hated going to the left barrel first. Statistically, almost nobody wins the world to the left. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to have to do this. I took her down the road to the cowboy church, entered the barrel race because we were past maturity age. I was just barely healed up from my neck being broken. And I was like, well, let's see what we can do. She went and won the whole 1D, first rattle out of the box, just switching leads, crossfire, and running, ducking left and right, and blew people out of the water. And I was like,
Yeah.
I think this is the one. I think this is the one. We've got her right here.
Did you stay to the left?
Stayed to the left. Won the world to the left.
Yeah. I've obviously seen runs with Baby Flo, but in my head, I don't. Picture,
You don't think about it really.
You talk about, I know which bull is into somebody's hand or not, but barrel racing, dang, that's a crazy start, especially just thinking about like how big of a deal she ended up being for your career. Like, I mean, why not just like give up on her?
I had nothing else. And I think that was really important part of my story.
If you had options.
I had no options. My back was against the wall. I don't know that I can ever recreate that magic again because it's a little harder in satin sheets, I think, to be able to create that kind of hunger that I don't agree that you get one good horse a lifetime. I do agree that you can be the best steward you can be of what God gifts you with. And for me, I needed her. I had nothing else. I almost died. Nobody had believed in me. How was I ever going to have a career again? How was I ever going to work again? This mare was it for me, so I had to give it a shot. I had a 2-horse bumper pull trailer that I still have parked at my place. I loaded her up and took her to some rodeos with very little plan. I had a Mercedes at the time. The payment on it was, I think, like $400 a month. And I was like, I'm going to sell that car and then I'm going to spend the $400 a month on entry fees. And then if I can keep making it back, I think I can probably go down the road a little bit. I'd come from my parents buying me these very, very nice horses. I mean, that doesn't negate the fact that I put a lot of work into those horses that maybe didn't cost so much money, but that doesn't take away the time and the effort and the elbow grease that we had to put into Flojo and that we had to put into, all these different horses. I had my one focus for her. I was divorced, and just trying to focus just on doing something that I could believe in. And my parents were like, do you, let's see it. And I had a big goal of that. I wanted to pay my place off. And I thought, man, if this horse works out, I could pay and I did, which is just, it's so crazy. But in 2012, I decided, okay, let's go down the road. Let's do it. She's 6. She had 90 days on her at the beginning of that year and made the short round at Denver.
Dang.
And I was shaking like a leaf, like my stirrups were clacking because I was like, this thing's not broke to ride.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just run her in there with a sold out house and see what happens. And she did great, of course. I don't quite remember how much I won that year in 2012, but I was 16th in the world, and I will never forget that.
Golly.
I will never, never, never forget that.
Wow.
So I hit a barrel at San Bernardino, California to win the rodeo, and took me out and missed the finals by, I think, $740, I think is what it was.
I remember that number.
I do. I sure do.
God.
So, and then the following year, I hit all of the barrels at the National Finals Rodeo. I qualified 2013, won second for Horse of the Year. I think people were like, that's a really nice horse if it goes around all 3 barrels,
Yeah.
like, good job, kid. Here's
Right.
your, but probably not going to do much at the finals. And I mean, I hit all of the barrels, trash can on the way out.
Yeah.
All of them, all of them. I hit all of the barrels. And then 2014, I just told everybody, I'm going to delete all the apps on my phone. I've got a really nice horse. I'm embarrassed I showed her the way I showed her in 2013. All I want is for people to see how cool this horse is. Like, she's so cool. this whole campaign, Fear the Little Red Horse, and focused on just try to win the average. And I would go up every night and look at the average saddle. Every night I'd take that elevator in Thomas and Mack and I'd just stare at the glass and just stare at that average saddle. I still don't have one.
Yeah.
I did not win the average, but I ended up winning the world, which is just so funny how God works.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 2014, right? That you won the world?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Baby Flo. My special horse was Boone, but he was not that fast.
I'm sorry you lost him.
He was,
Gosh, dang.
freaking cancer. Just
I know it.
got him. All of a sudden, it came up quick. I was trying everything. I was trying to do all the ivermectin stuff. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But he was also 25. So,
Right.
Yeah. And I'm sure you and then you got some babies out of Flo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've had 11 foal crops. Every one of them has been a winner. I'm just crazy that it goes from Dr. Nick Barr, Flowers and Money, and just like goes. I have 2 stallions that we're campaigning now named Thomas and Mack. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
They are a big deal. They're just 3-year-olds. Big old one's just a tank of Mack truck. That's Mack. Thomas is too tall Tommy. He's massively huge. And both of those stallions, I'll campaign in their futurity year, the end of next year. But all of them, we've crossed her on you could cross her on a fence post and she's going to give you something just really, really cool. So
you're not done running barrels?
No, even last year, the kind of the heartbreaker of being at the NFR for me this year is that I was number 1 in the world for a significant part of last year.
Dang.
And slipped down to about 5th in the summer, and then my mare's knees went out, riding my good mare Puma, and she had to have knee surgery, and we had to make the call the day before the 4th of July. That, are we going to kind of push those ethics a little bit and do some, and just kind of look the other way and go ahead and get through the 4th, or are we going to stop the train and go, hey, let's do it right. And so we decided to stop the train and just go get her surgery, and still haven't been able to get back on her. The surgery was successful. She looks great. She's fat and happy. And it's looking like the week after we get home, I'm going to get to start legging her back up. So very excited to take another stab at it.
Yeah. Dang, that's good timing.
It'd be great. And, when you watch the NFR, you're pretty inspired to jump on one.
Yeah.
Are you still getting on stuff?
Yeah. I've just collarbone surgery, shoulder surgery. Yeah. Those are the most recent ones, but I almost got on last week. Yeah. I've taken longer than normal to recover from the shoulders. I had a couple back surgeries back in the day, and that was in my God kind of hitting pause on my rodeo. And anyhow, it was like every year something would break or I'd have a surgery. About 7 years ago.
Yep.
So
I'm
healthy this
really
year.
Good.
25 is good.
Yeah.
Well, it was always stuff that like nobody knew on camera.
Right.
So like a few of them we made videos out of, collarbones and shoulders, but for the most part, like off camera, like I just wasn't. So I got to press the gas on rodeo time.
Yep.
But
which I think is just wonderful. It's not always, you always think like God's timing. And you're like, yeah, no, I love being diligent, but also like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, and some of it I'm just asking myself every day, like, this part of my life, my main job now is obviously not an accident. God had a plan. And so anytime I do get in the arena to get on one, I almost, not necessarily disobedient, but it makes me wonder, like, have I really been listening to God,
Right.
Anyway.
Well, about that. So, I told you we were diligent and did surgery on that mare. Well, the other thing that we did was we're like, well, I've won 40,000. It's just July. Like, why don't we grab another horse and do this again? Mm-hmm. And when I tell you, I got slammed in the dirt, like some of the worst wrecks you've ever seen, 3 times in a row, just one after another. And Alex was like, okay,
Yeah.
We get it.
Right.
We get it. That's it. I think we stop here.
Yeah.
But I really was not taking the hint.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
because I've said, like, is this a pause button or is it a stop button? You know? And
Was it a slow button?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, slow down button. Well, speaking of Alex, like, how long have y'all been married?
So this year, it's a trick question. 7 years. We'll be celebrating 7 years. We've been together a decade.
Yeah.
So
Man, just since the moment I met him, like, just such a good feeling of like, man, this is a good
he's a
human.
good dude.
Yeah.
He's a really good dude.
Yeah. And which is, you know, and now the little I've been around him, but, you know, for 10 years, like, just still thinking that, like, it's like, man, how fun is it to just come across people like that you feel a certain way, and then every time you see them, you're just more certain.
And they're consistent.
Yeah.
I think that's the really cool thing about being around good people is that you just know what's showing up every time. And I think those are the kind of people I want around. And you don't have to be a certain way.
Yes.
You know, you can just be.
Yes.
And I think that's really great.
Yeah, I had a friend tell me one time something about his girlfriend at the time. It's just like, man, yeah, we're just always competing with each other. And I thought, dang. And that's like the opposite of Alex, you know.
Yeah.
You can just be, like you said.
We can be, and it's a team, and you know, he's a true alpha. Like which is great, you know.
Which is crazy, like, you're not competing with each other, but he's also
the leader of our
an
household.
alpha.
The leader of our household, and you know, gonna take care of business and show our son, you know, that we hunt and we grow some food and we do a lot of things around the house, and we also take care of our marketing and our employee, you know, just all the things of like, we're just taking care of business, and that's the role. And like, even my son, it was really cool to see him the other day. I went to go in a gas station, and he just doesn't know that mommy used to drive 90,000 miles a year by herself, you know, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm probably fine. But I went to go in kind of a sketchy truck stop. My son went, no, I need to protect you. And I was like, that's really sweet. So, you know, the pressure that comes with raising somebody else's husband later on is like, you know,
For sure.
It's a privilege, but it's like, I like that. I like that installed.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. Yeah. What have you what's your mindset on balancing? So I feel like you've kind of got at least 3 things going, big silos, but you're still rodeoing. And then you've got the marketing and just the branding. You've got your YouTube channel that you've been super consistent with over just more than a decade. But then also the business side of, you know, ranch dressing and tactical equine. How do you feel balancing those 3 things? And what's the 4th thing that I don't see outside of family? That'd be a 5th thing.
You know, family is the first pillar. Obviously, that's the first thing we're worried about. If it doesn't work, you know, if YouTube's getting in the way of dirt bikes, we don't do it.
Yeah.
If rodeo is getting in the way of dirt bikes, we don't do it. If it's I see myself evolving and caring so little about the outside world with my kid. You know, I'm just, it's getting harder to care about certain things because it's just like, and you know, everybody tells you that when you go to have kids, they're like, your whole world will change. And you're like, okay. Yeah. And then it does. Right. So for us, Alex and I met because we both love business and we both love to talk about it. So it's a fun thing that we love to do. And I think that shows up in the brand that we really love. We love doing spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Like we love backing 2 laptops up and being like, did you think about the margin on that? And what do you think the people would they love this or would they love that? And we really love it.
Yeah.
If we sold it tomorrow, we would just be doing the same thing. And brand comes with us absolutely 100% of the time. So we've never had a babysitter. We've had a friend take him for 4 hours 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Our best friend, and that's the most we've been away from him. So
really,
yeah. So if we part, it's for, you know, when I texted you about this, I was like, hey, we come as a unit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And my old hay guy, a long time ago, I asked him for marriage advice, and he said, do everything together. And so we just do. So when Alex hunts, like we're ready to go help process. Like when I run barrels, Alex is sitting on the fence. Like, you know, and I feel like as a person that's been in a lot of failed relationships, that has been like the ticket. So for us, like if we're loving business, we're going to do that together and that will be prioritized, you know, and we want to show our son that, and we don't want to live a life of lack. You know, we want to show him, you know, what we can do and also at the same time balance that with we go to Disney a bajillion times a year and let him, you know, do all those things. So I think everything we're doing now is just to create like our fantasy space for our relationship and our kid.
Otherwise, what's it for?
What's the point?
Otherwise, what is the point?
You know, you're doing all this for freedom. And if you find yourself wearing a set of handcuffs, you know, then why stay up all night crunching numbers?
Yeah. Yeah, there's the part where like if you do actually love it and, you know, you're able to balance the family while you do that, like working hard into the night and all that, that's fine. But
totally fine.
Yeah.
And he helps us ship shirts, you know.
Right.
He helps, you know, he throws the packages in. And, you know, on Black Friday when we've got to jump in the warehouse and like help process orders, Brand is right there and he's autographing some. He goes, Brand Alexander McCrae, 3. And he does his little thing. And that was kind of my dream because I grew up in a warehouse with my parents being entrepreneurs. And that was my dream, is to raise him in that way. And I think he sees he understands that God gave us this and we have to be good stewards of it so that we can do all the other things. And rodeo is fun. It's a blast. It's horribly expensive. It takes up all of our time. Mm-hmm. It is, the payoff is absolutely terrible, but I love it. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we'll do that as we see fit. You know, I had a really, really good year last year and then it got halted. Next year, we don't know what that looks like. And I don't want to not set an expectation. I've got goals for sure. I would love to just get back on gangbusters. Boom, I'm in the top 15, but I'm willing to let that ebb and flow so that we still maintain a level of enjoyment. And that's where that hunger from winning a world title, I think, kind of took a little bit of that out of me, where I'm a little like, what do I have to prove?
Exactly.
And I love and hate that. On the night I got my gold buckle was probably the darkest day of my life.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was like, I
now
caught the
what?
tater.
Now what?
Now what?
Dang.
Like, crap. Now what do? You just win it 10 times? Like, what do you do now?
Yeah.
You know? So I've since been able to look back over that and relish it in a different way and appreciate it in a much different way. But in the moment it was like, crap. Because I opened social media, of course, you know. Open social media and it's like, bet you can't do it again. And I'm like, it's not even midnight.
Yeah.
I've had this buckle for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Well, every now and then you got to click on that person's profile and go,
man, Todd from Virginia that's never left your mother's basement.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you, user bot, fake profile.
Yeah. This one this morning, I was like, not super offended, but I was like, dang, that hurts. And I went and clicked on it. And
you were like,
I could picture this human in front of me. And I was like, man, I probably wouldn't ask him for advice.
My favorite one ever was we had gotten our house in Dallas. We're so proud of it. And at that point we had, didn't have Brand and we wanted to live in the city close to Alex's business. And we're so proud of it. And she goes, your home is disgusting. And it's so cold and there's no love in there because we like everything very, very like orderly. And I clicked on her profile and she raised rats on the loose in her home. And I was like, that is the benchmark right there of, that's it. Like, that's what I need to hold in my mind when anybody says anything really 100%.
Crazy.
This lady on the loose raised rats in her home and was criticizing my home. I was like,
some of them don't give you the luxury of like giving a glimpse into their life, which is a whole nother thing in and of itself, that someone would comment and their profile's private. But those that do allow you an inside look, it's just like, dang,
I've been
man.
an ex-girlfriend though, so I don't stop at just no profile picture. Like, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna find that email and I'm not gonna dox you. I'm not gonna find out where you work and harass anybody, but I'm gonna make sure I know more about you than you know about me. And then And then maybe a little burn comment from, once every 2 years, a little like,
Yeah.
hey, your real name's Cheryl. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to get you.
Yeah. I usually just block people.
Yeah.
I do a lot of blocking.
Yeah, I do like the block button.
Yeah.
But I look at social media a lot less now that I have brand. I do delete all the apps every single day, and I upload. I reinstall it. I know it seems very tedious, but I re-upload the apps every single day. My really good friend that has severe OCD taught me this, and Dolly is one of our favorite people. But she was like, it's meant to make you get in there and stay. And she was like, so just to fight against the machine, I go in there, I look at the people that I want to be inspired by, I post what I'm going to post, and then I delete everything. And I was like, that's the ticket. That's
See, it is definitely meant for that. And one of the tricky things they did recently was like change where things are.
Where the message button is.
Yeah, because I would go in.
Instagram, put it back.
I'm either going to post something or I want to check messages to see who sent me something. So like I'll do a thing, I swipe. Well, now when you swipe,
You're
it
in
takes
the
you.
loop.
Yeah.
You're in.
And I was like, dang, that is so brilliant on their part to keep me in the app, to sell me more so they can make more money on ads. And I've tried to really stay off the app altogether more recently because like that worked at getting me.
Yep. You got to try my concept. It's hard though.
Yeah, that does sound.
It's tedious.
to
download 5 apps and then
I guess you probably don't have to
reinstall them. Yeah.
But do you have to redo your password? And
No. It pops right back up.
oh,
I
then
wouldn't do it if I had to put. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It pops right back up.
That's not bad.
Not bad. But I love, because of social media, we get to see people like you. We get to see all these really cool things that are wholesome and wonderful and amazing. And as long as we can steer the ship how we want to see it, and, people like you and I both put out a lot of free content that inspires a lot of people. So, I know a lot of people want to dog on social media, and I know we talk about blocking people. And the great thing is that I do want to talk about haters on social media that I love. They will do a free analysis deep dive on your life.
For sure.
And there's some truth to it.
Yes,
Sometimes
I agree.
Like, hey, here comes Fallon Taylor in the tie-dye with the pink hair. And you're like, I would really disappoint her if I showed up in denim and just brown hair. I'm going to do that. And so like free analysis of your life is great. So I think it's really good every once in a while.
No, there were 2 people. This guy commented that I blocked this morning. There was another person who commented, like, called me something, but then like, yeah, he's just a professional BSer, and maybe called me a name. And I didn't block him because he's just making an observation.
Right.
The other person is like kind of hateful and crossed the line. But this person, like, he just doesn't like me. But then again, like what he said is pretty on, like he's right, So like I don't just block any like sort of like
I like
shit.
that.
But like if they say something about a guest, they're gone. Gone.
Hey, that's good to know, because there's people that that really don't like me.
Well, they will be blocked in an
blocked.
instant because it's hard to get guests.
Yeah.
And then they're my guest. I'm hosting them, and I do, or an intern. If they talk about, they can get away with
interns.
Much more talking crap just about me.
They call you a professional BSer though. Have they ever heard of politicians?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. But the whole it is something that I'd lie if I said that some of them didn't affect me, but you are 100% right.
But it affects you because it's a little bit true.
A little bit true, yeah.
Or you don't want that gap in your life. So now I look at them differently. People are, how do you handle the haters? Well, they're doing a free analysis.
Yeah.
So what are the holes that they're zoomed out and can see my life? Like, what are my tells? What are my traits that I don't see when I walk out of the room? What are people saying? Like, oh, she's so loud, or what, whatever it is. What are those things? They're doing a free analysis and letting me know to my face.
Yeah.
And a real friend will stab you in the front. So I'm kind of like, they're kind of an ally. They're kind of an asset. And the more I talk about them in this way, the less that they come out. So please keep hating on me.
Yeah.
Because I like those analysis, because I'm like, oh, if that stings, I should explore that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They call, people, when they meet me, they go, "You look great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you've lost like 50 pounds." And I'm like, I just must look massive on the internet. Or I just got, a big smile, big features. So it's interesting. I really like when they call me out of shape on the app, because that really that'll get you in the gym. I really like that.
Since we're talking about social media, have you cracked the YouTube code? Like, to me, that seems like the one that requires the most attention.
I ebb and flow on which app that I love. I think when I started, and what I believe everybody really followed Baby Flow, was on Snapchat.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that about you.
Oh, yeah. Man. And you and I did a lot of stuff on Snapchat.
Yeah.
I mean, Snapchat was it for me. And I forgot the app existed a couple of weeks ago. But what's funny is, in our industry, Snapchat is very much alive.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I kind of didn't do Snapchat for a while. And on YouTube, I had somebody that was editing, and our relationship, I think, was starting to dissolve. And so I'm having to be a little bit inauthentic in front of the person that's filming and editing and all of these things, and the videos just on YouTube were just doing terrible. And I was like, I think I'm going to go back, because, I've been on YouTube since the app started. So I think it's 15 years or 16 years. I've made barrel racing YouTube videos, and I was like, why don't I just do that again? Because again, if I like it, and that's what I like to watch, and I consume a lot of YouTube. I don't watch TV, so I only watch YouTube. And I love your channel. There's just a few channels that I actually watch. I don't interact on them, but I watch them religiously while I'm getting ready, while I'm whatever, because they're inspiring. And I love to see how people shoot. I finally was like, I'm just going to get my phone out, even if the audio sucks, and I'm just going to film on my phone and film with my day, and just basically FaceTime the people that follow me and have pushed me on this journey. I'm just going to basically FaceTime them for my whole day and upload once a week and be super consistent and edit it myself on my phone and be super 2012 about it. And I just feel such a connection there. And God pushes you where you're supposed to be. When you feel that itch to go towards something, I full-heartedly believe, my dad says, if you come to a fork in the road, take it. Yeah. And I'm super inspired by YouTube right now to just make this really not pretty content. Yeah. It's basically a FaceTime.
Yeah. I try to be a student of the game, and golly, I just constantly feel like I need extra tutorial sessions for YouTube. But
I just went full opposite.
Yeah. Well, it's just where I try to spend the most time, analyzing, what are we doing wrong? What needs to happen? What's next? The content part is fine. When I say fine, at least fun.
Yes.
What I'm shooting, I enjoy the heck out of. Podcasts are with people I'm interested in, that I want to, talk to. And then the vlogs are things I want to do. So, but it's just, how do you package it? What do you title it? What's the thumbnail look like?
Yeah.
What's the first 5 seconds look like? And that's the code that I feel like.
Oh, for sure. I've gone so far backwards on it. But I think that kind of when they remake, movies that were really close to our hearts as kids, and they remake them, they're not remaking them for the kids. They're remaking it for the adult. And I kind of think that that's what I'm doing. The people that followed me 10, 15 years ago are just can we just get back? I just want to watch the old show, you know? And I kind of think that's where I'm at, and it feels good. So I'm going to keep doing it while it feels good.
Well, you have, I hate the word cult following, but you have the most loyal fan base, I feel of anybody in the industry. Your Snapchat reminded me of that, like the first time I saw that, where it's just if you say whatever, you just have these people that want to be you and be in your family and either be adopted by you or adopt you.
I just think that I hope I've done a good job of letting them be a part of every part, even the parts that are ugly. And I hope that I've done a good job letting them know that I'm not able to be here if they're not here. Right. When I was selling the shirts out of my car, I can't go to the next one unless you guys go with me. So I think that's been the most important part of my journey. I think I got a little bit away from that as I was trying to maybe curate content, as I was trying to make content. Not that I did anything bad, but as I'm trying to make something happen, as I've gotten busier on the business front, or struggled with fertility issues that I maybe didn't necessarily want to put all out on the internet, where I'm like trying to have a baby and doing all these things, and you've got people going, why aren't you running barrels? Why aren't you, all these things. I think I've tried to do a good job of taking them along, and maybe got a little bit away from that. And now I'm like, let me just take y'all with me again, because this is just the coolest, to feel like you've got tens of thousands of people with you as you're doing something. So, you've got somebody in a wheelchair that can't go run barrels, but if they can ride with me in a helmet cam, and I go, hey, let's go ride this thing. Like, let's see, then they get to experience that same amount of dopamine as we go. And they take the losses with me too, which is, that feels good. When I had to end my summer, you had a bunch of people that were like, man, that was my team, and they feel that with you. I think it's really cool.
It's just neat to see that, like, the more people watch of your content, they become just devout followers,
Yeah.
I really think, I believe, and I'm okay with this. It's fine that most, 98% of my following they're very casual, like, yeah, yeah, that's that guy, but like, I've got maybe 8 fans that, 1 or 2 I'm a little worried about, but that show up on my stuff often enough that I would classify them as just like the majority of how your fans like. Anyhow, I think it's great. I think it's awesome because they obviously get the more they watch, the better they get to know you,
right?
And the better they get to know you, they become this like loyal. I think it speaks highly of like who you are as a person.
Well, it's such a privilege because you visit with somebody, once a week for an hour or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, over several years, that's a lot of a compound effect of getting to know someone. And just like you said about Alex, the more, my mom always said this, the more you get to know someone, they'll either get prettier or uglier.
Yeah.
And she always told me that. And I was like, man, I don't know what that means. And now that I've matured, I understand she means when you get to see more of somebody's heart, you either like them less or you like them a whole lot more. Yeah,
that's true. You're probably not going to just stay the same.
Yeah, you get more attractive or less attractive over time.
Dang.
And my mom told me another thing that was fantastic advice. She said, Fallon, you are supposed to dislike people that aren't supposed to be around you. So that's another reason why I'm less offended by haters. If things that I do offend you, it's because you're probably not supposed to be a part of my tribe. So I used to hide like any religious beliefs or any political affiliation or any whatever, because I just want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to everybody. And now I'm like, I should let you know more about me. That way you can choose your tribe.
Yeah.
Put it all out there so you can, because if you shouldn't be a part of my tribe, I do not want you to be a part of my tribe.
Yeah, bad news doesn't get better with time.
No, I don't want you. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I just, if you hate me, I love that for you.
Yeah.
Because that's sent from God for you to stay away from me for whatever your blessing is, it's somewhere else.
Well, I think you probably do a good job of like letting people know that, but also it doesn't seem like you've tried to become a political analyst.
No.
Also.
No.
Like they come to you and to me, I think, at the core of it for entertainment.
Yeah. So like, let's stay out of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm not going to let you roast me over wearing a red cap.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever. It just has range dressing on it. Like,
right.
It doesn't mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, I am like,
for
please
sure.
don't.
Yeah. Take your wild guesses on like where
take your wild guesses.
Believe.
I love Jesus.
Please don't act
and we
surprised.
hunt for our food.
Yeah. When I feel a certain way about this or that.
Yep.
But no, I get that.
Please don't shoot people in public that we really like. Because we don't like that either. Really don't like that either.
Yeah, for a second. Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I feel the same way. Like I'm not an expert on a lot of those things. I don't have I got a Bible study that I'll do that like people have to text me and I'll send them a link to it.
Oh, well, that's cool.
It's not. It's
know
like
you had
one
that.
extra step.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably gets 800 views.
Yeah. That's
I'll do it
really
once
cool.
a month, and it's an unlisted link on YouTube, and I just don't consider myself a pastor,
Right.
So it's more like, hey, this is what I'm
You should
studying.
read this really good book.
Yeah,
It's a book club.
yeah, exactly. It's a book club,
Yeah.
and
Just with one book.
But I just say that I feel like I'm kind of echoing what you're saying about your deal. It's like it's not secretive, but I also know that I'm not Matt Chandler.
Right.
I'm just,
And let's keep it light because it's a place to escape, and I don't need to convince any person of anything. I'm just a human that rides horses,
yeah.
and I don't want to debate you in any way.
Yeah.
I don't want to debate you in any way, and I hope we all just have a really cool human experience.
Yeah. Well, and that doesn't mean that I imagine you and nor myself aren't passionate about it. There's just certain topics on maybe like theological. See, I can't even say the word. Theology
Bible stuff.
Theology, doctrine. I said it wrong 3 times. There's some certain topics, about doctrine that I'm not prepared to debate on.
Right.
There's guys out here that are much more prepared than I am. I think God made me a comedian in the rodeo and cowboy space.
Right.
And I think that it's okay and you a elite barrel racer in that same space. And I think it's okay for us to respect where God put us.
Yep.
Not that we need to, like I said, definitely not ashamed of where I stand.
Right.
But
And my fans and friends come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and backgrounds. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's really beautiful. And
Yeah.
I love that. I don't ever want that to divide me from someone, because I think there's a space for us to all come together too.
for sure. Yeah. Well, are you here the whole time?
Oh yeah. Are you
Yeah.
here the whole time?
I think I might fly home early.
You dog.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. My flight right now is the Sunday after.
I think our flight, I messed up our flights, and I have us flying out on the 16th. I don't know what day that is.
Yeah. There's a couple of videos I might get to film this weekend back home that I'm just really itching to do. But as of right now, I'm staying the whole time. But yeah.
You should listen. You come to a fork in the road, you got to take it.
I
should shoot those videos at home.
I'm going to fly home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
But I got to make sure these interns stay on the straight and narrow while I'm gone.
I'll watch them for you. You let
Okay.
me know.
Perfect.
I'll take the cash home with me, count it.
Yeah, be careful flying with that stuff.
We've always taken the cash home from Vegas in a cracker box, in a Ritz cracker box. Our first year we were at South Point, and I had a 10 by 10 booth. We did win booth of the year. There was a 10 by 10 in 2014, and we couldn't even stand inside the booth to take pictures. We couldn't stand in the booth
Yeah,
because
you
there
gotta be
was
in the
no
aisle.
room
Yeah.
where to stand in the booth. And so we just had a Ritz cracker box. So now we kind of stuff it in hats because I'm worried about, flying. They don't take too kindly to you flying with a bunch of cash.
No.
They
no,
really don't like
I went
that.
from the National Junior High Finals, which is in June, and I flew to Panoka.
Oh boy, you went out of the country.
Well, and it wasn't that much money.
Right.
To be honest, it was more there was 5s and 10s.
Right.
And so it doesn't take much when you got some 5s and 10s in there to make a brick.
Yeah.
And even once,
Yeah.
I just took all the cash because somebody was driving my booth home.
Yeah.
And it was like a contractor, and I was like, I'm taking this with me.
Yeah.
And I rubber banded all together. And I did get pulled into a little room on that international flight. They were like, what are you laundering
Yeah.
this from? And I was like, no, T-shirts. I got a YouTube channel. And they're like, oh, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Come in here with us. And I learned that lesson the
I
hard
sling
way.
cotton, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a bull rider. I was trying to tell them, I'm the world's greatest bull rider, and I won all this money at a bull ride.
I got this from your mom. And they're like,
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, so you've been in contact with livestock and you're going
Oh,
international. So
perfect.
now I was in even bigger trouble.
yeah, perfect.
Anyway, but yeah.
So we put now it's just hilarious of what kind of box that we can put the cash in. I'm not going to tell the world how I haul it home, but I get it home.
Yeah.
In a weird box. I don't mail it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I get it home.
That's funny.
I get it home.
Yeah. That's funny.
You
Well,
see me carrying around a Ritz cracker box. Don't attack. There won't be anything in it. I don't carry it.
what do you what is your vision for the branding side of what you're doing? Do you have a goal or a plan, or what do you see?
right now I'm having so much fun designing, and then like, you know, Alex and I, you know, we're working. It's just really cool. Like I design it, I show it to him, we get it in, it launch, because everything we do is cut and sew and takes a long time, and it comes in, we run in the warehouse, we shoot a video, and then we come, you know, it's all very like organic, and we're loving that part where we kind of got big, and then now we're like, let's scale and but also have less people at the same time. And I don't know, my goal for the business is to keep going. We found a number for revenue yearly that if we go over that number, it means that we just worked 365 days through the night, and that's not the goal. So we found a number that we like revenue wise, that we work really hard and also experience the freedom that we wanted to with our business. And so that's the number that we shoot for, where I think in the beginning we wanted to be just the biggest. And now we've found the exact number that's like, if we do this number, we also get the freedom. We can kind of walk away. We can go rodeo for 3 months if we want. Obviously have an amazing staff, but if it goes beyond that number, we just are really tied to it. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. We found our sweet spot. And I don't want to say that we're complacent. We don't want to be complacent and stay there. But as we learn and grow, I just think we'll, you know, get some more products and get some new things and design some new things and do all of that, but just stay super authentic and free. And I think that's our big goal, freedom.
Yeah. Well, we normally wrap up with life advice. I feel like you've shared a few things already. If there's a fork in the road, take it. You either fall in love or out of love with someone, the better you get to know them. Trying to remember a couple more.
You get prettier or uglier the longer somebody knows you.
Yeah. That's a better way to say it. People, when they talk about like I always think about you whenever they're, you know, because I think back to like my first video in 2013, and, you know, instead of saying nobody was making content, I just say, you know, it was really only me and Fallon.
Yeah. Oh,
like
that's
just
so nice.
consistently
Yep.
doing and building and I tell people that you can be first or best, and I just happen to be early, but I think you were early and the best.
Well, that's a huge compliment. I'll never forget you shoeing Baby Flo.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
That was some great.
That was
some great
so
stuff.
funny.
That was good stuff.
No, the fact that you were like, you saw the humor in that, and because like when we did that, and like she went to walking with those size 14 New Balances, and I was
New
like,
Balances?
Yeah, and I was like, this is hilarious. And then I thought, this is Baby Flo, and I looked over at you, and you were still laughing. And I was like, okay, we're fine, you know.
A Briar Horse collectible Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That has won 2 world titles now.
Yeah, wearing
But
New
we
Balances.
putting New Balances on her for content.
That was so
Thank God
funny.
she sees the humor too, because she's just a cool mare.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She's cool.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, life advice. Is there anything else that we missed?
Yeah, if you get the itch, do it.
Okay.
Go home and shoot those videos.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for carving out some of your day for me.
What an honor to be here.
Well,
thank you so much.
It's an honor to have you. My favorite ex-girlfriend.
Thank you. I
know.
know.
By the way, we've got to talk about our past.
We sold that. We sold that, and I still get that.
Yeah, it was a good run.
It was a good run. It was a good run of being your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, we'll make sure Alex and Brand aren't, you know, tearing up the neighborhood out there, and
you never know.
Get you guys to the booth.
That kid doesn't go to town much, so
this big city he's in now.
He came in with dirt just coming out of his boots, and I'm like, where have you been? We've only been to a convention center.
We're in the city. Yeah.
Oh man.
Cool.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody check out Fallon and everything she's got going on. Tactical Equine, Ranch Dressing, and watch out for her in 2026 rodeoing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
On to the next one.
Thank you.